welcome to Cagneyandlacey Get Racy. I'm Angie.
And I'm Claire.
Today's topic is going to be sex over 50s, but what we thought we'd do is we'd start off by talking about why we're doing Cagneyandlacey Get Racy. And yeah, so let's start. Why are we doing Cagneyandlacey, Claire, Get Racy?
Well, why not?
But why?
Well, no, to be fair, we have spoke about doing this for quite a long time, and some of our conversations are so funny and interesting.
We hope.
No, to us they are, that there are lots of subjects that we touch on that I imagine most people think about, but don't necessarily have anybody to discuss it with.
Yeah, so our intention is to sort of spread information as well.
And to share.
So we were in the hairdressers, weren't we? I come to see you, and we were talking, as me and Claire do, because we're both only children, and we love a bit of attention. You wouldn't know that. No. And so we were like having our little chats in the hairdressers, and they were just all on the floor laughing, weren't they? With what we were saying. One thing about us is we can completely be ourselves with each other and 100%. Say anything. Although on this little video, I am actually a qualified psychotherapist, in case anybody doesn't know, so I don't want to do career suicide too much, so I have to rein it in a little bit, so Claire will be... Oh, Claire can say whatever she wants.
Just leaves it wide open, isn't it?
So, so on that note, a little bit about us. Where did we meet?
Well, we met at the warehouse in Edmonton, of all places, back in the day. We were both with our ex-partners at the time, and we just sort of hit it off. And then about 2 weeks later, we went to another rave. Well, I went to another rave, and I ended up speaking to somebody who I thought was Angie for an hour and a half. Then realised when I walked about 50 foot further on that was actually Angie, and the girl I was talking to, I had no idea who she was. Anyway, that was our starting conversation. I just said, I've been talking to you for ages, but obviously it wasn't you, so I still don't to this day know who that girl was. Anyway, from that day...
Whoever you are, shout us.
Yeah, if it was you, say hello. I think the tattoo gave it away.
Yeah, maybe.
But, so we basically became friends, and we've been friends now for what, would you say, 13 years?
About, 10, 12 years, I think.
No, I think it was longer because...
Can't remember. Well, they were the messy old days, weren't they? Where we had some messy nights out. But both Claire and I mean, I'm sort of semi-sober. I have a little drink now and again. But Claire has been sober for...
So I'll be 8 years sober, not that I count, in July next year. So 7.5.
And we've realised we're both still bloody bonkers without alcohol. Still funny bastards. But anyway. Yes. Well, we hope we entertain you anyway. And the first topic that was decided by yourselves was sex over 50. Claire. I'm currently not 50 yet.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm not having sex. So I don't really have any kind of expertise knowledge on this, but I've found out lots and lots of facts. So I'm going to let you say what you think, what your views are on sex over 50. Are you having sex?
Not today.
Fucking hope not. Somebody hiding in the cupboard.
Maybe in my head.
Definitely not with me.
Maybe in my head, or maybe on my own later, but no, not with anybody else.
Please. Yes, I've heard lots and lots on the conversations. I'll phone Claire just going, sorry, I'm just a bit busy with my friend, aka friend. So I know not to call her back.
This is actually something that I've actually got into recently, to be honest.
Oh, God.
No, truthfully.
Okay, so since you were in your 50s,
in
maybe.
My 50s, absolutely.
Okay. And why is that?
Because you don't have to wait for them to text you back.
Sorry.
You know,
oh, God, sorry. Right, okay.
They're always available. They can always take the call, be plugged in, recharged as you wish. You know, and to be fair...
Easier than a man.
Well, not about easier than a man. I mean, there's definitely something to be said for a man, but, you know, not every man knows how to do what you like to do. So it's kind of, I think, when we get to our age, I always say that this age, we know what we want, where we want it, how we want it, and when we want it.
Okay, so would you be fair to say that, like, in your 50s, you're more secure in what you want sexually?
Yeah, and also I'm more confident in saying so.
Okay, to yourself. Okay.
It's that left a bit right, a bit up, a bit down a bit. You know.
Oh God, get me on that plane back to England.
Back in the day, you know, And we used to make lots of noises and go, oh wow, that was great. And then after say to your mate, fuck, that was shit.
Naming no names, of course.
No.
This is all about anonymity,
No,
so we will not be mentioning any names.
No, but to be fair, you know, when you're in a relationship, I think relationships change. If you're in a marriage and you've got a husband or you've got a long-term partner, I would suggest that probably sex isn't as regular or as exciting as it would be if you're in a new relationship.
Yeah.
Unless you're very fortunate that you can sort of mix it up, mix it down and change it around a little bit.
Okay.
Someone said to me last night, what's your favourite restaurant? And I said Scott's in Mayfair. And they said, well, if you went to Scott's in Mayfair every night for the rest of your life, would you get bored of it? And I said, yes, I would. So it's all about maybe having a Chinese one night, Indian another night, like Kentucky. It's variety, it's the spice of life.
And I'm going to just come in with something which is completely random, and this is not anything that I am experienced or part of, by the way.
Okay.
But I am hearing more and more in the rave scene that there's a big swingers community
I've never been part
of
of that.
over 50-year-olds. So anyway, if any of you want to tell us a bit more about that.
I may add to that, I don't do sharing.
No.
I'm only child syndrome. So that is part of the issue.
Yeah, we're both very similar on
Yeah,
that
very
one.
similar,
We
yes.
don't like to share attention either, do we? Right, okay, I've got some facts for you.
Oh.
So the AARP, do you know who they are?
Who?
AARP?
No.
The American Association of Retired Persons.
Oh shit, that makes me say that fucking ancient.
I've got some statistics on how many people
How
over
do they
50,
retire in America?
well, obviously quite young, have sex. So how many do you think, what percentage would you say is weekly?
Of what, over 50?
Over 50s in America. Give us a figure.
Oh. How often weekly?
Weekly, it's not a trick question.
No,
Once a week.
25%.
Ooh, nearly. 30%.
Oh.
Monthly?
Oh, a lot higher. 60.
27%.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if these figures work out, actually. I'm just looking. So, none or less. Sorry, 27% was monthly or less. 40% none.
Oh, there you go. So it's getting higher.
Yeah, I think so. I'm not very good at maths.
No, it is, obviously, because if it's none,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
higher than
Yeah.
once a week.
Over 70. 1 in 6 adults over 70 weekly.
There you go. You see, because you find your little
Yeah.
thing again.
That's
Your
actually
mojo
shocks me,
comes
that
back.
figure, because
Yeah.
I think over the age of 40 I'd be lucky.
But do you know what it is though? So I think everybody goes, oh no, they think about your mum and dad having sex. But I can't ever see me not having sex.
Okay, I don't really want to think about that.
No, not you, but I'm just saying, I'm sure most women would think the same thing.
Yeah.
That, you know,
When you're younger, you don't imagine yourself as older, do you?
no, and
Yeah.
also I think as you're, of a certain age, you're probably slightly more adventurous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I've had different partners in my life who
Really?
who have certain preferences, should we say?
Yeah.
And some don't. So, you know, when you've been with someone who is very highly sexed, you tend to follow that path, so you'll have sex more regularly.
Yeah.
Then you get somebody who doesn't really want it, and you just don't do it, do you?
No.
You become more of a companion.
Yeah, absolutely.
doesn't suit me
Well,
at
that's
all.
what you hear of, don't you? Separate bedrooms, the snoring, all those things that stop the intimacy. Because let's face it, starts at cuddles and kisses, doesn't it? Usually, unless you're a brass. No, that's another story.
That we're definitely not that.
Because we watched Gavin and Stacey
No,
last night. They
no,
don't
but-
kiss, do they? They
no.
just shook
Yeah.
hands.
Yeah.
Right. So some things that I was thinking about that would change if you're like, let's say late 40s, over 50. Menopause.
Ooh.
Let's talk menopause. How does
Don't believe in
menopause?
it.
You don't believe in it? What's
No.
that fucking old pump in your?
That's why I don't believe it.
Okay.
Because I believe after seeing a gynaecologist, and don't diss me for this, women who are sitting there with these hot sweats and all that, it's all unnecessary. Seriously.
Okay.
It can be controlled by diet, it can definitely be controlled by medication. I know some people can't have the medication, but after seeing a gynaecologist who basically took me through it, and I said, look, I don't want no vaginal dryness. And I definitely don't want any of these symptoms. And I did. I went for a little while, probably about 4 years ago, when I started getting these hot sweats, and I was like, no way am I going through this. So I saw a really good gynaecologist who prescribed to me this pump called Lenzetto.
Right.
And basically, I started taking it, and it was 2 a day, little pumps on my arm, and literally it disappeared. Now, my daughter may disagree and say that I'm not that I am menopausal mentally, you know, but I think that's just me in general. So I'm a bit fucking nuts. But no, I think that a lot of women go, oh, menopause. I get it that some people do suffer more than others, and I'm not making light of it. And some people go, oh, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. But there are ways of controlling anything.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, I think I'm very blessed in that I sailed through it. I'm a lucky one.
Yeah.
I also think that helps because I don't drink.
Yeah.
Alcohol's not good for it. But do you want to stop having sex when you've gone through it? No, you definitely don't. If anything, it's made me like more.
What do you think the old pumps helps you?
I think absolutely.
The oxytocin.
Absolutely.
So, okay, so some other things that I thought of, and this is personal to me as well, is like when I was in my sort of 20s, even 30s, or maybe, like I thought and I felt very, very sexy, banging body, and then as you get older, I just don't know, I didn't feel as confident with my body. I'm getting better now. So do you think body confidence over 50 affects sex?
I think it depends who you're having sex with, really.
Yeah.
I think that, I think this is the problem you've got is, as you get to a woman of a certain age, most men of our age, I won't say most men, I'm not generalising, but a lot of men take the easy option and look for younger women.
Yeah.
So a woman of 50 hasn't really got a very big window of opportunity to find a man of a similar age. Men older don't tend to be on the same level sexually or mentally. They seem to grow older a lot quicker.
Okay.
Men that are younger, I always think that you then got to keep watching your back, thinking, oh, there's another younger model coming along. So it's kind of it's hard to find someone. I think if you can find someone that you're really in tune with, your confidence naturally comes out.
Right, so it's like your vibe with them. So yeah, I can relate to that. My last.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's about connection, isn't it?
Definitely.
So it's not about, for me anyway, because I've dated some ugly blokes. It's about connection. It's not about looks. It's about how you're attracted to them, how they make you feel. And yeah, this is a big thing, isn't it? About younger women, but also I found as I've got older that younger men are approaching me more because of personality, because we've been talking about how a lot of women have got the personalities of AI, and it's like that vibe again, isn't it? Younger men
I need a bolt on.
They need a bolt on. So we were talking about this when I was in Ibiza this year. That's another story, but anyway.
But it's really refreshing to find a man or to talk to a man of our or my age who finds a woman of my age attractive, not only in the look department, but because you can have a conversation.
Yeah.
Whereas some take this, as I say, the easy option and find the younger woman who's, not going to ask any questions, going to cook the dinner, parade around in a pair of leggings with a tight arse, and the man's going to be happy with that. But you know what? It's not just about tight arses, is it? It's about what's inside it. Sure.
What's inside the arse?
Absolutely not for me.
No, definitely not for me either.
No.
But that's each to their own. Right, okay, so we've got the 2 V's to discuss. What do you think the 2 V's are, male and female, over 50, that affect sex? Have a guess.
Not vaginas again.
That's one. Okay.
I wouldn't know about that.
Well, I think...
I definitely would not know about that. I can guarantee.
I'm sure that you've got something that you can recommend people to use for that.
I've never needed it.
Okay.
No.
Right, okay. Vaginal dryness affects sex. What's the V for men that they might need? Viagra. So, yeah. So as men get older, because let's talk about men as well. We've talked about females with menopause. Testosterone decreases, okay?
Yeah.
And I've been hearing, won't mention any names, that a lot of people have come to me and said, my husband's going for testosterone injections and I think he's having an affair because he's not, obviously putting up for me. But there's lots of other reasons for having testosterone as well. One of them being for hair loss, etc.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
Yeah.
So anyway, one of the advantages that I was reading about when we researched this was that testosterone, as it decreases, relationships actually become, and this is from a sort of psychological point of view, men can be more empathetic and nurturing.
What, whilst taking testosterone?
No, when their testosterone depletes.
Yeah.
So that can in tune, say what we were talking about earlier, where they get more connection. And, you know, a woman, well, me personally, I need a man to be a bit nurturing for me to have sex with them. I can't have somebody who just sends me a dick pic. It has to be that they connect with. No, don't say it. Don't. She's going to go, I can.
No, I definitely can't.
No, I need that connection. I need that love.
A few years ago, I could have made a calendar. I'm talking, but why do men feel the need to send dick
Why?
pics?
Please don't send them.
It's not a nice thing.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that could be an advantage in a relationship, right? So if a man becomes more nurturing, okay, maybe they can't get it up all the time, but they're more loving. Wouldn't you feel like you want to have sex with them more? You feel more connected to them.
But how, if you know, it's double-edged sword though, because if they're becoming more empathetic because they can't get it up, then you can't have sex with them anyway.
Well, you can, because you get them on Viagra. And you get some stuff for vaginal dryness and get your pump out, or you get your vibrator out in your case. But you can have cuddles.
Okay, right, so going back to sex over 50, right, what we were saying. Okay,
yeah. Okay, I don't know.
Right, okay, no. So
I feel like I want to get my cringe pillow.
No, it's not a cringe pillow. No, seriously. But I just think it is a bit of a taboo subject because I think that, you know, like your kids always think, oh my god. Like, I mean, I remember my mum and dad years ago thinking, what is that noise? And they're having sex. You think, oh my god, it's disgusting. However, you know, a woman of my age now, I feel like I'm in the best part of my life, the prime of my life, where I do enjoy sex, and if I want to have sex, I will have sex. However, I won't just have sex just for the sake of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. It's got to be something, because the other thing is like on my little journey now, where I went sober for that time, and then I'm exploring other things and doing a bit of a spiritual path. Did you know if you have sex with somebody for 7 years, your connection, it's a cool thing. It's you're taking on their trauma and their energy, and it's about honouring your body, you know, not just giving it up for any old Tom, Dick or Harry. I don't get any offers, by the way. No, I'm just saying it's like.
But I just think that also, I don't know. I think it's really. I'm going to tell you something now. So I went to a sex shop here.
That's not serious.
What?
You said I'm going to say something serious now.
I went to a sex shop.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, I think that in England, I live in Portugal, so in England, you go into, you know, you've got to go to Ann Summers, which is about the bog standard place, or you end up going down to Soho, to these seedy places, and you see like ball gags and all that, and you run out thinking, fuck, what is that all about? No one's coming near me with that. You know, you look at that sort of thing. But I went into a sex shop on Saturday to buy a gift.
For yourself?
Yes.
I never got a fucking gift.
Yes, I did, to buy a gift for myself. I was very kind, and that some friends had gathered together some money for me for my birthday, and I thought, oh, what should I buy myself? And I thought, oh, I'm going to go and treat myself. It was a bit of a spur of the moment thing. Anyway, but I went into this shop here, and it's called Cupido, and I didn't quite know what to expect, really.
Because you're sponsored by Cupido.
No,
if you're listening in.
But I went in there, and it was I was greeted by about 7 or 8 women, all dressed in really like white shirts and red skirts. They looked like they worked for Virgin. No pun intended. But they really were lovely. And I've never seen so many sex toys and vibrators and creams and lotions and potions and all over the place. It was literally like I've never seen anything like it. I was like,
well, over here is different to in England.
So what I'm saying is, it's kind of almost like, and I went in there, and there was lots of people in there, and I think lots of people buying like little Christmas gifts and things, but as well. But it was more the fact that it was so openly spoke about. Yeah. Whereas, you know, you could try them, not literally. Yeah. But they were putting them on your hands. Yeah. You could get the sensation and all that. And I don't know if there's anything wrong with a woman having a sex toy. No. But then saying that, I've always been the sort of person who would only have a sex toy if someone bought it for me, and they went with them. When they left the building, the sex toy left the building.
Right. Okay.
As a ceremonial dumping.
Ceremonial fire dump. No, they are more open over here.
So getting back to what I'm saying is, it's almost like, so at 50, even if you're not sexually active, I think part and parcel of keeping yourself and your juices flowing, as it were, is to actually. Oh, why are you doing that?
Sorry, I get embarrassed.
No,
My mum might be watching this.
No, but.
Go on.
Hello, Bridget.
Hi.
No, but what I'm saying is, there's no reason why, as a woman, you shouldn't encourage that.
Yeah,
You know?
I think there's a lot of shame in England around
Yeah,
sex.
and
like,
it makes it look like these seedy
it
shops
does.
in bloody
Everyone
Windmill
has
Street
sex,
in
for God's sake.
Soho,
It's not like.
and there's these backstreet places where you walk in
Yeah.
and you think, oh my God, they're just looking at you, and but it was a totally different experience.
I was telling you this, I think, last night or the night before. It feels like I've been here for about 10 years, but anyway, we've had a lovely time.
Yeah.
And I was saying about an ex-partner of mine who was very, very shy. We went into Ann Summers, and all the sex toy stuff is at the back, isn't it?
Yes.
And I just took him in there for a laugh to embarrass him, but an older couple came out and they'd purchased whatever, and I mean, like, they're probably more in their 70s. And I thought that was lovely to see them together.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh my God, that's disgusting. And I was like, why? Why would it be?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, I think what floats your boat, I just think that
Yeah.
when you get to our age, like I've said, you know
Not
what
dead,
you
are
like. You know, you're not going to suddenly go into a restaurant and order pork if you don't like pork, are you?
I don't like pork.
I know, it's the conversation this morning. But,
I haven't finished that one. That's another story for another time. But anyway.
No, but so going back to the over 50s thing again, keep saying it. There's no reason why anything has to change.
So
As long as you as a person are physically able to have sex, why shouldn't you?
Yeah.
Why should you worry about it? And do you know what? Even if you are in a relationship, you can still get the sensation, you still get the feeling, you can still get the release, you know, alone.
yeah.
You don't have to have a partner, do you?
So do you think that? I'm just thinking out loud. Like, you know, when men go for their midlife crisis and they want to sort of like relive their youth, and you know, like, did you think they go through that because they're feeling inadequate or they're feeling insecure about themselves, or do you think they're not consciously aware like we are, like the females? Because I think females go through it as well. Okay, maybe that's a topic for
No, it's
another
not.
time.
No, it's definitely not. I think that it's the same the world over. What's acceptable for man isn't acceptable for a woman. Might be changing a little bit. You know, men having a wank is nature. Just normal, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, talk about it all the time. It's quite openly, isn't it? You know, but if you said a woman, oh, I'm just going to pop off now and have a fiddle. You know, people will be like.
I have got a friend, and I'm not going to mention her name on here, but she quite openly tells everybody that she's going home for a wank after we've been
Wank's
out
not a
all
nice
the
word.
time.
I don't like that
she
word.
says-
You?
well, she's very open about it, and I think good luck to her. Well, she's
No,
doing
but
it, so
that's-
she
no,
might as well say
This
it.
is what you say is a word, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, masturbation, as it were, I suppose.
Yeah.
But no, I just think we should embrace ourselves. 50, 60, 70. I know women in their 70s that are still really sexually active.
Yeah.
And their partners necessarily aren't
Okay.
because of their testosterone and also prostate problems and things like that have caused the
Right.
issues.
Yes.
But
Or sleeping with
they're
other
still,
women.
but they can still have pleasure
Yeah.
and get that kind of release. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So I've got some facts about sex, okay? So whether it be on your own or with a partner, okay, some advantages of sex. So what do you think would be some advantages or health benefits of sex?
Oh.
I thought you'd know it all.
Well, no, I mean, I just think, is it not the feeling, the oxytocin feeling that you release, or the old cuddle drug that I love to keep referring to, that fuzzy feeling
Yeah.
that you get. I don't know, does it help your blood flow?
Shall I
Does
tell
it?
you?
Tell me, yeah.
Shall I tell you? Boosts immunity.
Oh, okay.
Researchers at Wilkes University in Pennsylvania found that college students who had sex, they're young though, once or twice a week had significantly more immunoglobulin. Globulin A. Can't say it. Okay, we will skip that. Improves heart health.
Yeah, that's pretty much
Yeah.
blood flow, yeah.
So again, people think it could trigger a heart attack, but it doesn't. It actually reduces the risk of a stroke and a heart attack. All of this is on ARP again. Strengthens the pelvic floor.
Yeah.
So that's a good advantage.
Oh, I've got a story as well. I'm not mentioning no names, But a friend of mine, she had to have some internal surgery down there, and the actual gynaecologist said to her, in order for her to be able to resume normal sex again, told her to go and buy the biggest vibrator she could find and practice with it.
Really?
Literally to stretch it, to stretch her insides. Because
well, there you go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it's can't be that bad, can it?
No, it can't be. Relieves headaches. What else have we got? Helps symptoms of menopause. So the blood flow. Blood flow helps the vaginal tissues get
and also
healthy.
The dry, so therefore prevents the dryness, I would imagine.
Reduces the risk of prostate cancer. Harvard study, 32,000 men.
Right.
The more that they ejaculated, they lowered the risk of cancer. Oh, they have to ejaculate 20 times a month to reduce it, though. There you go, for any men that might be watching. Boosts mental health, which is what you were saying. Reduces stress, again to do with, like, I suppose, reducing your cortisol, stress hormone levels. Burns calories, So if you don't want to go to the gym like us.
Also makes you sleep better.
Yeah. Enhances brain health, helps you sleep. There you go.
Okay.
Extends your life. So if you're over 50 and you want to live longer, and that is it.
And that works if you're having sex with someone or on your own.
Well, yeah, I'd guess so.
Because it's that release.
Yeah.
That
You might have to hug a dog after. Or get one of those teddy bear boyfriends. You can roll over.
But you know what, I do hear a lot of women going, oh, you know what, they don't want to know, they're not interested, I've not had sex in 4 years, 5 years. I just think, oh. What
would be your advice, Claire, to spice things up in the bedroom if you're over 50? I don't know
why you asked that question, to be fair.
Okay.
I don't know I can answer it.
You can answer it, you definitely can. Okay, we'll leave that for another.
I think there's lots of things you can do. I mean, I'm not really against anything, to be fair, if I'm honest. And like I say, different partners have brought different things into my life.
Yeah.
I mean, one of my ex-partners used to love watching porn.
Yeah.
But he would watch it, and I would watch it with him. And that's just... Oh, God.
Sorry, it's because I've been raised Catholic. There's still that shame about all of this. It's really... I'm not going to answer that.
Oh, come on.
Of course.
Of course, I'm saying
there's still that thing, isn't there? Like we were talking about shame.
It's not
like being English and...
is it? It's not like
it is,
watching someone fucking a donkey or anything. No, but do you know what I'm saying? There's different
dark,
things.
Though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think the whole... Listen, the whole sex trade can be made dark and dirty.
Dark,
but, if you're a consenting adult and that floats your boat, why not?
Okay.
There's lots of things that people like to watch or to take part in, or
Yeah. Something else has just come to my mind. Sorry, go on.
No, come on.
Right. I don't know if I might have told you about this or not. I can't remember. Anyway, me and my friend, won't mention any other names, and another friend were discussing about how men can literally go to see prostitute, can't they?
Yeah.
Saunas, whatever. I don't know. I'm not really. It's not my sort of like topic or subject, but Amsterdam. You can go and get sex. What do women do if they want to connect?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's a very taboo subject. There's lots of. I mean, living out here, there's places where men go. It's famous. There's a place called Cats.
You're getting sponsored by all these sex shops and brass houses.
No, it is. But so you get all these guys come out here for golf, go out for the night and end up in Cats, and basically they're all flattered by these women who are like 30 years younger than them, making them buy them a drink, and then ended up taking them back to these seedy apartments, doing whatever, and then end up paying for it, and then they go home to their wives. But I don't think many women would do that.
No, because again, I think it comes back to that empathy thing and that connection.
Where would you go? You don't find male brass houses,
I think with men, connection isn't always as important as for a lot of women. A majority of women need that connection, so it's quite soulless, isn't it? The act of having sex with like a stranger when you're younger and you're off your nut, and it's a bit different. But when you're older, in your 50s, like you say, we're a bit more secure in ourselves. There's a bit of taboo about older ladies, your old slag, like going and doing that. So also,
and the other thing as well is it's a little bit like depending on where you are in your headspace. Like I've had this conversation as well, saying that like where I don't drink, if I make a decision to do something, not just talking about sex, I have to be accountable for that.
Yeah.
So I don't get beer goggles.
Can't blame it on being drunk.
I can't blame it on being drunk and wake up the next morning and think, oh shit, what did I do? Because everything I do is a conscious decision.
Yeah.
You know, whereas a lot of women might go out and get pissed and end up going home with someone. Like, you know, the same thing. Girls come away for weekends and they'll go off with guys, but they wouldn't go and pay for it.
No,
they wouldn't go to a specific.
Would they? Because this is what I was coming back to in my ADHD roundabout way. So me and my friend were talking about setting up an app. This was just a bad conversation we had many years ago, where we sounds really bad.
Traffic girl.
We go around the football clubs and talent scout. It was just an idea. It was only a joke, by the way. And they would have an app. And we actually, when I went skiing with another friend, we were a little bit drunk, and we actually did go and find this was already a thing.
Really?
When we did our research, it was
for
already
women?
a thing for women.
So like for gigolos?
Yeah.
Because that was what they'd be called.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most women that I have spoke to over 50 or late 40s have said that they would be up for it if it was just a quiet discretionary thing. I mean, personally for me, I don't know. We could do the interview process.
I wouldn't pay for it.
No, but we could interview them all. No, I'm joking. That's a joke.
No,
but yeah, it would be So, but women, I think again goes back to that connection.
Yeah,
like personally, I can't sleep with somebody unless I've got a connection with them.
There has to be some connection.
There has to be a connection. They have to usually make me laugh,
without a doubt.
Have some sort of empathy for, like have that kindness and
I also think it's hard for women to have unattached sex.
Yeah.
I think women,
that's another thing.
They automatically form a type of bond.
And also I think the expectation when you're over 50 is like, I'm quite happy being on my own and single.
Yeah.
I would like to meet somebody, but I'm not, it's got to be the right person.
Absolutely.
So we don't just go with anybody just to have a boyfriend. Like when you're in your 20s, 30s, if you want children and marriage, you might get into a relationship that isn't for you because you're not secure in yourself. You don't really know yourself, do you?
No, and I think so many people are in these relationships and they actually don't really like their partners, but they just don't want to. They're not going to go anywhere. And I think there's a really high percentage of people that are frightened to make that move. Someone who was married for 21 years who left her husband, me, and ended up in a relationship after that, or two, one was quite short but torturous, and another one that was like long-winded. And actually looking back on it now, realising that relationship was a disaster waiting to happen. But back in the day, I couldn't see that. Whereas now, because I am where I am now, that little bit wiser, that little bit older, I'm still going to make mistakes, don't get me wrong, but I'm more accountable for them. My actions and my reactions are different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And also,
I think my choices as well.
Yeah. And I think as I've got older, I don't really have that attachment that I used to have, that I used to want somebody to stay with me and love me, and I'm like, well, if you want to stay. If you don't, then you can go.
No, exactly.
I think what will be will be.
And I think that when my husband and I split up, I honestly thought that I was going to meet someone who's going to whisk me off to a castle in the sky on this big white horse and love me for the rest of my life. And actually, it was completely opposite. So you end up going through your life, meeting people and having relationships with them, and now I just decided that when people say to me why are you single, and I just say out of choice. Because until I meet someone who rocks my world, knocks me off my feet, I'm staying that way.
Right one.
Because I don't see the point of being with someone and making do, and that's not having high expectations. That's just me not wanting to settle with somebody and not talk to them in a restaurant and just look at them and wonder why they're breathing in that way and wanting to put a pillow over their head. So I feel like it's not a shameful thing to be single. No, but I think at our age.
Not anymore it isn't, because we're more secure in ourselves to make those choices, aren't we? Like whereas before it'd be like we'd stay with I know I did stay with people just because it was the thing to do.
I think the thing is we've all got tick lists, and we all want this and we all want that, and I've got friends, your expectations change, and I think that going through for me, I don't really fancy fancy that many men, and if I do fancy a man, I could meet a man and think, oh, I think on the outside I fancy him, and he can say 2 words to me, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
You know,
Ick.
because of
We get the ick more,
the
don't we? As we get over
the boredom factor. So when someone's like a kind of all-rounder, you know, you don't expect every box to be ticked.
No.
But I think you have to have certain things, because otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
There's just no point in going into it.
No, absolutely. Well, we've gone over our 30 minutes.
Have we?
But that's fine. So
I hope I haven't offended anybody.
Probably You've offended me.
I will add, this is just my opinion and your
My
opinion.
opinion.
This is not, you know, this is
And
just
the Harvard research that we got on our
of
phone.
course. And honestly, if we have offended anybody, I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion.
What about for your whole past life offending people? We could do a whole
yeah, we
show.
do.
Claire's apologies.
Oh God, yeah, we could do that.
That would take about an hour and
Listen,
30
I'm
minutes.
just being straight. Like, I'm just saying, all we're doing is, it's just me and Ange having a chat. We're sitting on my sofa. Sorry about the dog barking. Just having a chat and just kind of like maybe incorporating you into it. So this is actually a video, but we're going to do it next time because Ange won't be here. She'll be back in England, and we're going to do it on a live. So it'll be like on FaceTime, Facebook Live. And then you can put comments in if you want to, and obviously slaughter us if you think we're talking shit, or you know, ask us different things. Yeah. But we just want to just sort of share a little bit with you, and if you like it, fine. And if our numbers drop by 100, we know you hate it. So it is what it is. You can't like everybody.
The intention is to
bring
kind
a bit
of
of
share information
light-heartedness
and have a little bit of fun, isn't it? Really.
Yeah,
and
it's like a bit of a women's circle, but you know what? For women that are all over the place, and with all different walks of life, different ages, different relationship statuses, just in general, really, just to find some common ground, and there's going to be subjects that we're going to talk about that some people are going to hate, some people are going to love, some people are going to like what we have to say, and some people are going to hate what we have to say. But you know
That's
what?
life.
The intention is good.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Should we go and sunbathe now?
I think we should get out there.
It's lovely.
And I'm going to go to the dog out because she wants her wee.
Yes. Okay.
But anyway, thank you for listening.
Goodbye from
Bye.
her. It's goodbye from
And
me.
goodbye from me.
Bye.
Bye.